raises hard questions about whether the cost is truly justified when vehicles are deployed in poorly coordinated environments. As we circle back to the conclusion, the disturbing footage forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Technology and machinery, no matter how advanced, cannot replace discipline, coordination, and leadership. A vehicle with all the armor, speed, and power in the world is useless if it is misdirected, mishandled, or poorly commanded. What we witnessed in this footage is not only a tragedy, but a warning. It shows how fragile the balance is between power and chaos, and how quickly military strength can turn inward when order is lost. This is not merely about one vehicle or one unit. It reflects deeper issues of organization, morale, and training within the force that deployed it. The lessons to be learned here are both tactical and human. Tactically, armies must recognize that every asset carries risk when misused. Strategically, leaders must ensure that the soldiers operating such vehicles are fully trained, properly briefed, and disciplined enough to prevent such catastrophes. And on a human level, it reminds us that war is not just about numbers, machines, or territory. It is about the lives that are lost when control slips for even a moment. The sight of an entire unit crushed under the weight of its own reinforcement is not only insane, it is heartbreaking. This story will undoubtedly fuel debates among military analysts, historians, and political leaders. Some will argue that it highlights desperation within the Russian ranks, a symbol of chaos and breakdown in morale. Others will suggest it is simply the inevitable result of relying too heavily on machinery without ensuring discipline. Regardless of interpretation, the footage stands as evidence that brute force alone cannot secure victory. The battlefield is as much about control and coordination as it is about weapons and armor. For viewers around the world, the video shocks not only because of the destruction, but because of what it represents. It shows the fragility of human life when placed alongside machines of war. It also demonstrates that no matter how intimidating a piece of equipment appears, it is only as reliable as the humans who command it. The tragedy is amplified by the irony that reinforcements, who should have been the ones to strengthen the unit, ended up being the cause of its destruction. As this clip circulates online, many will debate whether it was an accident, a failure of command, or even intentional recklessness. What cannot be debated is the result: an entire unit wiped out in seconds. The footage is a grim addition to the catalog of military disasters that remind us that war is unpredictable, chaotic, and merciless. So as we wrap up this breakdown, the takeaway is clear. Military vehicles like this one are powerful tools, but without discipline, they can become uncontrollable monsters. Strength without control leads not to
speed and torque make it invaluable for transporting units rapidly and smashing through resistance. However, the same performance becomes a liability when discipline and coordination collapse. In the footage, this performance is on full display in the worst possible way. The vehicle surges forward with unstoppable momentum, turning what should have been an asset into a disaster. Watching it crush through its own unit is a grim reminder that raw performance without control can be more dangerous to allies than to enemies. The safety features of this machine highlight a bitter irony. From a technical standpoint, the vehicle is designed to safeguard those inside. Layers of armor protect against small arms fire, fragments, and even certain anti-tank weapons depending on the model. Reinforced hatches and ballistic glass give the crew a fighting chance against external threats. Fire suppression systems and emergency exits sometimes exist depending on the configuration, ensuring that if the vehicle takes a hit, those inside may still survive. Yet as this footage shows, these very safety features are one-sided. Soldiers caught outside have no such protection. A vehicle designed to shield its crew becomes a deadly trap for anyone in its path, and tragically, that included its own reinforcements in this case. Safety features, therefore, are effective only from the perspective of those inside, creating a tragic imbalance where the exterior becomes the most dangerous place to be. The unique selling points of this type of vehicle are obvious when you examine its role on the battlefield. It offers mobility in tough conditions where standard trucks or jeeps would fail. It offers protection that keeps troops alive during transport in contested zones. Its ability to combine speed, power, and armor means it can insert reinforcements where they are needed most and allow commanders to maneuver with confidence. It also exudes psychological dominance, as the mere sight of such an armored beast approaching can shake enemy morale. However, what makes it unique also makes it flawed when mishandled. Without clear communication, proper command, and discipline, the same features that inspire fear in the enemy can create chaos within friendly lines. The footage is a painful case study of how an asset becomes a liability when strategy collapses. In terms of price, these vehicles are not just measured in money but in resources, logistics, and human cost. Financially, producing and maintaining such a machine runs into millions of dollars, factoring in armor plating, engine capacity, transport logistics, spare parts, and crew training. Operationally, the cost includes fuel consumption, maintenance hours, and the infrastructure required to deploy it effectively. But as this footage reveals, the ultimate price is often measured in lives. A single incident of mishandling can wipe out an entire unit, undoing months or even years of training and preparation in seconds. That
Victory, but to tragedy. This is a warning not only to those on the battlefield today, but to anyone who studies war. Technology amplifies both power and mistakes, and when the two collide, the outcome is devastating. That's all for today's report. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Frontline Report channel for more updates, analyses, and explanations of frontline events. Stay safe, stay informed, and join me next time as we continue to uncover the realities of war that too often go unseen.